Let's start off the hour in Stilfontein in the northwest, where Police Minister Senzo Mchunu will make a second visit in as many weeks. He will meet with the provincial officials to get an update on their assessment of the underground footage to determine if government-sanctioned efforts to bring more illegal miners to the surface will be feasible. Scores of so-called zamazamas are said to still be in a disused shaft there. More than 1,400 others have already resurfaced in the past 3 weeks. Newzroom Afrika Ziniko Mhlaba is monitoring developments in Stilfontein for us. Ziniko, very good morning to you. So we have this visit from the police minister once again, but then also looking at the number of so-called zamazamas resurfacing over the past few days. Are the ones who are resurfacing because they're being assisted by these experts that have been called by the police, or are they resurfacing on their own accord?
Good morning, Aldrin. Well, I can state that they are resurfacing on their own accord. And of course, you know, understand that there is this Margaret shaft behind me, which has been dubbed as one of the safest, or that still has the machinery that can transport people to an underground. So they've been using this shaft mostly. And of course, those who have been coming out have been coming out of this particular shaft in numbers. As you can see, there it's still intact in terms of the lift that is able to go down on daily basis and come up with, you know, a certain number of individuals from underground. So these is where most of these illegal miners have been resurfacing from. And you also understand that this is an operational shaft. However, it is no longer used for mining gold purposes. It is used now to pump water. However, its operations in terms of transporting individuals to and from the underground is still intact. So these miners, especially at this particular week, this shaft, I think, has assisted illegal miners of about 30 or 40 or so, because on a daily basis, on average, 10 illegal miners resurface from this particular Margaret shaft. So they've been doing it on their own, but I also understand, Aldrin, that, you know, closer to the entry point or to the mouth of this particular shaft underground, there is some connectivity underground. So some illegal miners have been able to communicate with their loved ones on the surface when they get closer to the proximity of the shaft underground, to communicate in terms of updating them on their well-being, but also communicating that they might be, you know, coming out from the ground using this particular shaft, because we've had some family members saying that they've had some interactions with those who are underground after weeks of not having any form of communication with them, you know, since the start of Operation Valamkoti here in the northwest. So as far as their surfacing is concerned, there's a positive feedback from the illegal miners themselves. Some of them have been saying that we're coming out voluntarily. We had, you know, the communication and the messages from government in terms of advising them underground to also make use of this particular shaft. However, yesterday, you know, we saw about 3 illegal miners coming out of shaft 10, you know, where 14 illegal miners, you know, had resurfaced on Sunday midnight. So there's that slow progress in other shafts, especially in shaft 10. However, at shaft 11, where the operations are currently being held, rescue operations by the experts, no one has resurfaced in the past 2 weeks.